Very good afternoon to one and all, and I welcome all of you in this special public webinar, which is organized as part of the Science Promotion Activities initiative of the National Academy of Sciences India Delhi chapter and the Indial Upadhyay College, University of Delhi. Today we have with us Dr. Manish Mohan Gore from CSIR, National Institute of Science Promotion Research, New Delhi, and he'll be talking to us on learning insights with innovative approach and career prospects for science students. So before inviting him to deliver his talk, as a customary, I request my co-panelist, Dr. Priya, to kindly introduce Dr. Manish to the attendees.
Thank you, Manoj sir. Dr. Manish Mohan Gore did his higher studies, MSc and PhD in Life Sciences, and B.Ed and PG Diploma in Mass Communication. He is working as a scientist in CSIR, NISCPR since October 2019. Earlier, he served Vigyan Prasar by Department of Science and Technology, that is an initiative by Government of India, for 12 years. He is also a faculty in the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research of CSIR. In addition to his academic attainment, he has contributed in science popularization among the general public, especially young generation. He has 8 books and he has written more than 300 popular science articles, and also a number of science fiction have been written by Dr. Manish. Several radio and TV programs have been broadcast from All India Radio and Doordarshan and DD Kisan channel by him. Now I request Dr. Manish Mohan Gore to enlighten us with his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. As Ms. Priya ma'am communicated, and, this program of lecture series is very much useful and essential for the student specifically. Is the screen is being shared?
You can just, yeah, it's there, and you can put it in the slideshow.
Sure. I think now it is in
Yes,
slide.
absolutely fine. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Manoj and Ms. Priya ma'am. The topic for today's talk, as you everyone know, that learning insights with innovative approach and career prospects for science students. Before going in detail with the aspects and facets of the talk, I would like to share a few highlights about CSIR, an organization where I serve. This CSIR, as you know, that this is Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and this CSIR is the largest research and development organization of our country. It was established in 26 September 1942, and in this September, 80 years has been passed, and so many success stories are there with the bag of CSIR. And on that occasion, we are celebrating our legacy and our achievements with the title that is known as CSIR 80 years, 80 success stories. Our first Director General was Santi Swarup Bhatnagar, who was a physicist, and Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was the catalyst behind the establishment of CSIR. And Bhatnagar was known as research laboratories father in India. He was very much enthusiastic to establish and to form the scientific laboratories across the country. Under the umbrella of CSIR, at present 37 national laboratories are there. In addition to these national laboratories, 39 outreach centers, 3 innovative complexes and 5 units are working across the India. About 3,500 active scientists and around 4,350 scientific and technical personnel are serving this largest R&D organization of India. Core area of CSIR research and development are oceanography, geophysics, drugs, repurposing of drugs, genomics, gene sequencing, nanotechnology, aeronautics, instrumentation, environment, and aeronautics is also a very significant area of research, and National Aeronautics Limited laboratory in Bangalore is working, and so many other laboratories across India are working under the umbrella of CSIR to excel the SNT areas of research and to promote the scientific work and scientific progress of the country. The major outcome of CSIR research are environment, health, drinking water, food, housing, and energy. And during COVID pandemic, CSIR also served a lot to serve the humanity and the society at large. Drug repurposing, gene sequencing, and other mitigation things were organized and coordinated by CSIR laboratories. Thousands of unique patents have been documented by CSIR laboratories and scientists. 140 patents commercialized so far. In India, this is the largest one scientific organization, and in the world, it is ranked 37th among 1,587 government institutions worldwide, which have been working for science and technology research and development. Major achievements, if we talk about the major outcomes and achievements over 80 years of CSIR's journey, we can find that Swaraj tractor is one of them, and another one is indelible voter sync, which was a great innovation done by CSIR laboratory. Kisan Sabha app is recently developed by CRRI, Central Road Research Organization, a Delhi-based laboratory of CSIR. This connects farmers directly to transporters. Shear scanner, this is another important technology of CSIR, which is helpful to check milk adulteration. Tejas is a lightweight aircraft developed by NAL Bangalore of CSIR. Recently, hing cultivation was in the news, and this hing cultivation is a great achievement of CSIR laboratory, Indian Himalayan Bioresource Technology, situated in Palampur, Himachal Pradesh. In the year 2020, from Afghanistan, Iran, and Iraq, these countries were the exporter of heme, Aspertida, and India was dependable on these countries for heme. But right now, with the help of ISBT and the research team of this lab, heme is being cultivated in India, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Uttarakhand, and so many other places of the country. Aroma mission is one of the major uh, achievement of CSIR, under which cultivation of medicinal and aromatic plants are being done. And from this mission, so many millions of farmers and other entrepreneurs are involved, and they get the benefits of their employment and income. RV Sindhu Sadhana is one of the major achievements of CSIR laboratories, and this is the largest marine expedition which went in 14th March 2021 in the Hind Mahasagar, and it is one of the brainchild of National Institute of Oceanography, Goa. CSIR NISPER, in which institute I am working, and this institute, National Institute of Science Communication and Policy Research, erstwhile it was known as NISCARE, National Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources. Two institutes, NISCARE and NISTADS, merged together, and one institute, NISPER, was emerged in 14th January 2021. Earlier, it was established in 1951 as Publication and Information Directorate. Later on, it is called NISCOM in 1996, and then it merged earlier with the INSTOC and came into existence as NISCARE in 2002. The broad objectives of NISPER and erstwhile NISCARE and PID was to communicate science with the laymen, students, and other stakeholders of the community. Our institute collect, store, and publish the scientific knowledge and content, and then after it disseminate to various target groups. Popular science magazines, newsletters, scholarly research journal are some of the outputs of NISPER, and 19 scholarly research journals are there of different S&T disciplines and areas: biotechnology, nanotechnology, and marine science, and traditional knowledge. So many topics and subject areas are there in which these journals are being published since long. STI policy research is one of the major objective of NISPER, and study of history of science is also a key objective of our institute. And the guiding force behind the objectives and aims of NISPER is Article 51AH of the Indian Constitution, and that says that this Article 51AH is the fundamental duty of every citizen of India, which states that to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry among the citizens of the country. STI policies is another thrust area of NISPER. CSIR Samachar is a major newsletter which covers the news from different laboratories of CSIR. Vigyan Pragati is also a monthly popular science magazine, and it was established in 1952, in the August month of 1952, and 70 years is the journey of this popular science magazine, and this magazine is being published without any break since last 70 years. There are so many formats in which the write-ups are produced in this magazine, and this is very inspirational in its nature, to motivate the students, teachers, and science learners in the society and in the country. Learning with innovative approach is the aspect in which innovation makes the learning more interesting and more appealing. Learning through traditional methods is stereotyped, and if we learn things with innovative approach, the learning becomes fast and very effective. If we talk about the word science and its origin, we find that scientia, Latin word scientia, is the basis and root of the origin of this word science. And this word denotes the knowledge. And if in the form of testable explanation and predictions about the universe kind of thing is explained, and any kind of knowledge uh, which has testable explanation and which predicts the about the universe is come under the science domain. And curiosity is the fundamental of science. In earlier years, modern science was not existed then, and those days science was studied with composite and combined form. Philosophy, science, and its branches were studied jointly. There was no definite demarcation of biology, physics, chemistry, and biotechnology and other forms of science. But when time passes, modern science and contemporary science uh, witness the demarcation and compartmentalism in the domains of science, and so many branches and disciplines of science and technology emerged over the passage of time. These are a few examples: immunology and epidemiology, the study of epidemics. Pandemic comes under this discipline. If we discuss the communication aspect in our walks of life, we find that plants, animals, and humans, all three life forms of this earth do communicate for one reason or other. Plants also communicate. Allelopathy is a small example in which biochemicals are produced by plant roots and leaves and even with their trunks. And through this allelochemicals, they keep distance, or they communicate their affection or their hate with other neighboring plants. Plant which uh, affect other plant in for making them to stand nearby. It is also produced through allelochemicals. The effect is positive and negative allelopathy, and those plants who do not want to grow a particular plant, it is also through chemicals they communicate with the neighboring plant. Just like plants, animals, and insects are also very much effective in communication for their feelings and emotions. Plants also feel anger, feel any kind of growth indicator. And J.C. Bose produced and discovered an instrument called crescograph, in which he knew through insertion of the plant or plant leaf tip to know the growth and emotions of the plant. Animals develop different kinds of communication and its mechanism through their behavior called nesting, courtship, emotions, and self-defense. Dance and communication through dance is one of the characteristic feature of honeybee, in which they dance in front of their other community members to indicate the distance and direction of the food source. This is a very good example of communication in insects. Communication process and learning process, when we talk about formal education, just like school education, there is a information which to be communicated to the target audience through a communication medium. And these communication medium for human communication are in the form of written, verbal, audio, visual, formal, informal, and so many other forms of communication. Research paper is a tool of communication and formal learning, in which journal, that is the communication medium, is communicated to students and research scholars, and scientists, researcher, students, scholar, and professors are the target audience for research paper. And in this process, journal, research journal is worked as the communication medium. In school learning and school education system, educational materials are communicated to students through textbook. And here, these textbooks play the role of communication medium. Informal method of communication. When we communicate science or other discipline of any knowledge system through mass communication media to the society and to general public, it is known as informal method of communication. If we discuss and we disseminate the scientific information to society, then a communication medium serves as the bridge to communicate the scientific information to the general public. And science communication or science learning is the fundamental for the dissemination and popularization of scientific information to the society. When science was not there and humans were devoid of science, no human being was aware about science. You can understand that this was the age and era of our early humans, those who were not civilized and they were not aware about the knowledge system and even science and technology. Those days, natural phenomena like flood, storm, earthquakes, and even solar and lunar eclipse and Venus transit like celestial phenomena and natural phenomena were not understood by the early human beings. Then what kind of happening they feel and they understand was they only carve like God's anger, ghost or superstitions like things they draw from these phenomena. People of that time were not aware, and there was no authentic source of information which could inform them that these are the scientific things, and there are so many scientific and authentic basis and evidences behind these happenings. If such kind of scientific information were in those time, they can understand and know the cause behind these natural phenomena, and that created the superstitions kind of thing. Those early humans were not aware about the science, and when the knowledge and scientific information spread in 17, 18 and 19th century, then only the society and the general public uh, understood the scientific method, and they knew that science is the key to which tells the facts and true stories of nature and universe. But what we have understood was not enough. And physicist Eddington once explained that universe we understood and we came to know about the planet Earth and space beyond this planet is only a small area which we know and see and observe. He said that if we go to visit a ship and so many bundles of potatoes are there on the deck of the ship, and on any one potato any insect like fly sit there and think and visualize that how many potatoes are there on the deck and how many other kind of animals and plants are situated uh, within the sea. That is very impossible kind of thing, and that only particular one potato on which the fly was sitting, he said that the fly would be the human being and that particular potato is the earth, and we the human being sitting on the earth only visualize the earth and its surroundings, and we could not observe the whole scenario, whole universe around the planet Earth. This is the mystery he wanted to make realize that science and findings of scientific information sitting on the one living planet that is Earth is very much mysterious to understand how far the life and other natural phenomena are existed around the earth and within the periphery of universe. This is very much mysterious, and very much time, energy and other uh, calculations and scientific inputs are involved to know and gaze and measure the other dimensions of the celestial bodies and life forms if it is available on the other planets and galaxies of the universe. Homo sapiens is known as wise man because the Homo sapiens Latin meaning is wise man, and so many issues and challenges are there uh, with our wisdom, and we know that these challenges like global warming, deforestation, and plastic debris, and even habitat loss are very much alarming, and these challenges are very uh, badly impacted our human society and even our environmental surroundings and our natural uh, makeup of the earth. So solution part, if we talk about the solution measures of these environmental challenges, which is created by ourselves, human beings, then sustainable development and environmental conservation are emerged as the solution measures for the challenges and problems created around ourselves. And this sustainable development is the uh, logical thinking kind of thing in which we aspire that a very beautiful and very lively earth and our planet should be there to sustain life for a long time. And if we logically act, this can be happened. And this kind of logical thinking and logical action is known as scientific temperament. And this is the one of the precursor of our fundamental duty. As I mentioned earlier, in Indian Constitution, Article 51AH advocates the development of scientific temper. This scientific temper was earlier proposed by so many sages and great people of our country. They did not say that this is scientific temper directly. They could not say this phrase, but in their explanation, they promoted the logical thinking, rational thinking, and logical and rational decision making in our daily life. Kabir, Buddha, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Lord Krishna uh, are a few examples who earlier promoted and encouraged to develop the scientific temper in the society for the overall development of our humanity and society and our nation at large. A few examples from which you can understand that what is scientific temper. If we uh, come to home from a hot summer day and drink water and even uh, cold water, it is not the scientific temper. It shows that the person who is drinking cold water coming from hot summer day, he or she does not have scientific temper. Similarly, tea, coffee in plastic cup, drinking in plastic cup is also not acceptable, and this is the uh, unscientific temper. Putting pulse, rice, vegetables, fruits in water before cooking, it reduces the fuel, and it also removes the pesticides and other chemicals which could be harmful for our health. This is again the scientific temper and scientific attitude. Scientific temper is denoted in the form of scientific method, in which problem, observation, 5 major steps are there in the scientific method. First of all, we uh, observe a problem, and then a kind of explanation and hypothetical understanding about that happening or problem we could draw from the particular problem. And then experimentation come after hypothesis. We do experiments to solve the problem. Then data analysis comes at fourth stage, and finally after experimentation and data analysis, the scientists or technologists come to a point that any conclusion can be drawn from the experimentation and data analysis. This is the basis of scientific temper. A scientist can do deliberately these 5 steps, follow these steps. But if any layman indirectly, unknowingly follow these 5 steps, he or she is scientifically tempered. It will be proved that he or she is scientifically tempered, and he or she can do rational decision making in his or her life. Career prospects for science students is a very effective if we could find a specific job and career and service in the scientific domain. ISRO is one of the important organization where space research is being done, and scientists and engineers are recruited every year to serve the technological aspects and R&D work of ISRO. Eligibility for BTech or B degree in computer science, electronics, or mechanical, or any other related field with a minimum of 65% is essential. And ME, MTech students are also expected to join in ISRO. I only mention a few position and few career prospects, and the general career in science, every person, every student, every aspirant know very much about that. Here I will only mention a few significant and off record things as per the career point of view in scientific and technological streams, which all the students will find as the innovative career. ISRO is one of them. And in CSIR, any science students can also make a career, and there is a recruitment and assessment board, RAB, which finally select and recruit the scientist in the umbrella laboratories of the CSIR. BE, BTech, MSc and PhD are the essential qualifications for becoming a scientist in CSIR. Inspired Award Manak is one of the major award and motivational thing established and run by Department of Science and Technology. DST, Government of India, is funding agency, and this is the flagship program of Department of Science and Technology. Inspire means innovation in science pursued for inspired research. This scheme promote and encourage students to come in the domain of innovative approach in science, education and learning, and inspired research. Million minds augmenting national aspirations and knowledge is the full form of Manak. This scheme is dedicated to class 6 and class 6 to 10 standard students of age group 10 to 15 years, and to target 1 million original ideas, innovations. Here, innovative ideas and innovations are the key for this Inspire Award, Manak, in which a culture of innovative thinking among school students are encouraged through this scheme. Any school can nominate 5 best original ideas, innovations of students through below website, and this is Inspire awards-dst.gov.in. The present Inspired Award scheme is going up to 15th October 2021, and any desirous aspirant can apply in this award. And this Inspired Award is of 10,000 rupees. This is very attractive scheme of Department of Science and Technology. Indo-US Fellowship for Women in STEM. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, and Medicine. Herewith, the scheme belongs to Indian women scientists to undertake international collaborative research in premier institutions of USA. And again, the funding agency of this appealing and very attractive scheme is the Department of Science and Technology, DST, Government of India. And Indian women who is currently pursuing PhD degree in basic sciences, engineering or technology, agriculture and medical sciences can apply. And dst.gov.in is the website from where any desirous applicant can go through and can be the part of this scheme. Avasar is another very unique kind of scheme, and this inspires and encourages the students and research scholar who is doing their research in any scientific discipline, and they are interested to write scientific articles and popular science write-ups for the common audience. Funding agency is National Council for Scientific and Technological Communication, DST, Government of India. And in PhD category, first prize for this Avasar scheme is rupees 1 lakh. Second prize is 50,000, and third one is 25,000. 100 additional awards to 100 participants is rupees 10,000 each, and certificate of appreciation. In this scheme, PDF category, postdoctoral fellow category is also there along with PhD category, in which only 21 awards are there. First prize is rupees 1 lakh, and 20 other prizes as consolation prizes is rupees 10,000 each selected candidate. And this award ceremony of Avasar scheme is celebrated every year on 28th February, which is the National Science Day in India. And again, the website is here from which Avasar scheme can be gone through, and any interested student who is eligible can join and can participate in this very unique kind of scientific scheme. Other career options are there in the field of psychology, environmental science, and protection technique, industrial psychology, and even paleontology, in which fossils are studied, and fossil science is a very unique field and discipline of life sciences, where so many people, so many students are even not interested. And through this science, paleontology, any past animal or plants can be studied. Millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, which kind of animal or plant was there in the nature, and the imprints of that plant or animal remain embedded in the stones, which was earlier soil. And this is very interesting field. And likewise, data scientist is also is a very unique opportunity for the students. Archaeology is also very interesting. Anthropologist is also a very good career. Epidemiology, which is everyone of today's world is going on with the COVID-19 pandemic. And this study can effectively serve the humanity, and they also improve the other aspects that mitigate the pandemic and epidemic. And few, along with these words, I would like to thank all the person and DDU College, Delhi University and Nasi Delhi chapter, and especially Professor Manojji and other faculty members and academic supporters of this endeavor. I must thank to each and everyone, and especially the students who were learning and who listened this talk with much patience. I must thank to those students also. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manish, for enlightening all the students, as well as some of the teachers were also there in the attendees list. Now I request Dr. Priya to kindly take up the questions which the attendees have shared in the chat section.
Thank you, Manoj sir. With your kind permission, Dr. Gore, I would like to take up the questions that have been put up in the chat box. The first question is by Anita, a student, who wants to know, what does a data scientist mean? What is a data scientist?
Data scientist is basically belong to the computer data and its analysis. And in the field of information technology, data scientists are used for the analysis and other research aspects of data science and computer science, and as well as the information technology.
Thank you, sir. Another question is by another student, Sally, who wants to know, if I want to pursue astronomy or astrophysics at postgraduate level, which stream of engineering would be recommended at undergraduate level for it?
I think physics will be most appropriate and most suitable for study astronomy and astrophysics in future. Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, that is briefly called IUCA, which is situated in Pune, India. This is the top most institute of astrophysics and astronomy. Professor Narlikar, J.B. Narlikar, was the founder director of this institute. And I definitely say that any student who is wanted to get knowledge about astrophysics and astronomy, he or she must definitely visit the IUCA website, and I am sure that physics stream is most appropriate to get into the astrophysics and astronomy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This answer has also answered two more questions in the chat box. And the next question is by Kiran, who wants to know what is scientific temper?
Scientific temper is a way of thinking in which any people which is literate or illiterate, learned or he or she is not learned, a common man, a farmer can also have, which is not necessary that he or she is literate and graduate or PhD. He or she, any farmer or any labor who is not literate, he can have this kind of scientific temperament. This is a decision-making process or way of thinking in which the person find out the ways, find out the conclusion through rational thinking, through logical analysis. And as I said earlier, that 5 steps, any scientist follow 5 steps of scientific method. And if knowingly or unknowingly any common man is using those 5 steps in deriving the problem or any challenge of his or her life, he or she is using that logical thinking, and that is the scientific temperament. In our Constitution of India, Article 51AH is effectively communicate that the inculcation of scientific temperament, humanism, and spirit of inquiry is the fundamental duty of every Indian citizen.
Thank you, sir. There is another very interesting question by a student. She wants to know that since a moon of Saturn named Titan has possibility of life forms and climatic conditions similar to Earth, she is talking about the moon of Saturn named Titan. So she wants to know, can we live there?
With many scientific explanation and scientific discoveries scientists are going through, and especially the astronomers and astronomy experts and exobiologists who study the space and astronomy, and also astrophysicists, Narlikar, Fred Hoyle, and many other scientists are astrophysicists who study these kind of life probability on the other planets of our solar system. And I cannot answer very firmly that life on a moon of Saturn can be possible. Only the indication of any life probability are there, because there are so many factors which which is derived through the findings of scientists on any planet or any moon of the planet, and only the small indication of water streams or any other evidence is not necessarily indicate that readily life can be existed, because Saturn is very far from the Earth, and if the Saturn or its moon has any indication of life form or the condition which is suitable to sustain life, at once we cannot say that life can be existed there, because the distance between Sun and Saturn is very much distant, and without sun and solar light, how the life will be, we cannot say anything in no time. Therefore, this is the question for astronomer and astrophysicist which can say any other things in this direction.
Sure, sir. Thank you. There is one more question by Shreya. She wants to know what is a biochemist?
Biochemist is a researcher or scientist who do science of biochemistry. Biochemistry is a combination of biological science and chemical science. Our human body and any plant or animal, the life form in any entity, plant, animal, or human being, is the best example of biochemistry. We are the entity or format of biological entity, and chemistry in the form of hormone, in the form of enzymes, in the form of gastric juices, and so many other chemicals secreted in our body through endocrine glands. And we are biological form, and chemistry is situated, and chemistry is undergo within our body. And this type of study where biology and chemistry is intermingled, that is the study branch of biochemistry. And one who studies this kind of discipline of science is known as biochemist.
Thank you, sir. Actually, there are a large number of questions being put up in the chat box, but keeping in view the time, I think we can take up only the last two questions for now for the students. One question is, would organisms from different planet have different structure of biomolecules since their developmental process is different from us?
Definitely, I think in our planet, Mother Planet Earth, we live in a definite surrounding, definite minerals and other aspects of life. But more or less, the uh, raw material of any celestial body will be the same, because the whole universe is running around, and Earth, Moon, Saturn, and other celestial body of the universe is the member of the one whole and large family of universe. Therefore, I must say that there will be a commonality and similarity among all the things around the universe, but definitely there will be a difference between two entities found in two other planets of separate solar system and separate galaxy.
Thank you, sir. And the last question for now, what is an anthropologist?
Anthropologist is the scientist or expert who studies the development and evolution of human being on this planet Earth.
Thank you, sir. I think we have taken up most of the queries, though not all. But since we have a time limit for this particular lecture, so now I pass on this virtual platform to Professor Manoj Saxena to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you very much, Dr. Manish. And 1 hour has passed, but I have seen the amount of questions which have been coming up. It hasn't stopped. And due to the paucity of time, because we have to keep the whole program within 1 hour itself. So I would like to thank you once again for sharing your valuable thoughts and answering all possible questions which have been shared by the attendees in the list itself. So thank you very much, Priya. Thank you very much, all the attendees, the students, the teachers, and hope to see you all again in the next webinar, which is planned for September 8th. And on behalf of the National Academy of Sciences India Delhi chapter and the Deen Dayal Upadhyay College, I would like to thank you, Dr. Manish, once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.